Hello and welcome to another DC Corner. This is Ed. Will is not with us tonight. Unfortunately, he has the flu, so hopefully he's going to feel a whole lot better soon. In fact, I'm looking over at Will right now and hoping he's getting better real quickly. We wanted to go ahead and get started back here, though, because we haven't done a DC Corner since the start of the year, and there's a couple of things we wanted to catch up on. One was not this most recent week, but the week before, and that was Detective Comics. And it was issue number 38, which continues the Anarchy storyline. I wanted to say something really nice here about one of my favorite art teams, one of my favorite storytelling teams, Brian Buccellato and Francis Manapul, who bill themselves as storytellers here. Brian does a lot of the writing. Manapul does a lot of the co-plotting, does the pencils and inks and the ink washing. Brian Buccellato does the color work. This is some of the most amazing storytelling going on in comics today. When they had The Flash, they were just amazing, and I really love what they're doing over at Detective as well. The neat thing I wanted to comment on here, though, is you have Anarchy back in here, which is a great character, and he's basically erased everyone's identity in Gotham. Everyone has a new start and can do anything they want to do. And there is a trope that's just so easy to fall into in comics when there's, for lack of a better word, anarchy in the streets. And it happens all too often. That did not happen here. And this is the reason I'm talking about it. It's kudos to Buccellato and Manapul. They did not get into the everything's free so we can start sexually taking advantage of women or placing them in danger of being raped or otherwise groped around. They didn't do that. They really hit more in terms of other crimes that were going on. It's certainly a scary time. It's certainly a frightening time for the citizens of Gotham. There's crime all over the place, but they didn't fall for the old misogynistic bullcrap that you see too often in comics today. Thank you. Thank you for not going there. And this is an excellent story. If you're not reading Detective, you really should be reading Detective. Basically, anything that Brian Buccellato or Francis Manapul has to do with, I'm getting. I hope you would want to do the same. These guys are just amazing. Going on to this week, there were a lot of critical turns in different books that came out here. So I'm going to be spoiling a little bit. So you may want to watch a couple of things here or there. In World's End, guys, I don't know what to tell you. I love Earth 2. I loved the series from the beginning. I'm an old JSA fan, and I had a lot of trepidation when they started coming into Earth 2 and changing all the characters and making them young again. But when they did it, they did a great job. I really liked what they did with Alan Scott's character. I love what they did with Jay Garrick's character, all of the characters that came in. And now they are slowly tearing it apart piece by piece. And one character, and I'm going to spoil this for you here, is their Superman dies again. And I hate to say this because I've loved the character of Superman for all of my life, but at this point, I really didn't care anymore. First issue of Earth 2, they killed off the Earth 2 Superman and Batman. And it was great dramatic effect, and then you had the new generation of Wonders. Wonderful job there because they really made it work. Then Superman's alive, but he's brutal, and he works, literally named brutal, and working for Darkseid. And then you find, no, really, he's sort of the bizarro Superman of Earth 2. He's not really Superman. Superman's dead. So let's go forward. Oh, no. Superman's alive. He's alive. No, wait a second. No, it's a clone again. Only it's a room full of clones. Whole bunch of clones. Not Superman. Superman's dead. Wait! Superman's alive! He's alive! Only he's lost all of his powers, and in this issue, he finally dies. And I hate to say it, but didn't really have an effect on me. And I think it's because they played with us so much here. Like I said, I've loved Earth 2. If they're really going to just tear it apart and blow it up, be done with it. Let's move to Convergence and let's go on. So I hate to say this because I have loved Earth 2 so much. I liked The World's Finest book when it was Power Girl and Huntress. But World's End has been a disappointment for me personally. It's not that it's a bad book. I'm not saying that, but just the storyline itself has been a disappointment for me. So it's just been tough. In Future's End, a more shocking one, looking to be the apparent death of 50 Sue. And for all the corniness of that name and for everything that they've done with this character early on with her, I really don't want her to be gone. She really became a much more interesting character the more she hung around. Certainly she's overpowered. I mean, this is someone who can alter reality with but a thought. So you knew they had to do something, but I really hope they sort of retcon her back in some way, somehow, because I really started liking her, except for the really hokey name there. But it's a good storyline. Future's End has actually been a very good weekly. The only weekly that's been better is Batman Eternal. Now, guys, if you've been waiting for this, I've been waiting for it, and it's finally happened. Bluebird is now Bluebird. Harper Row finally takes on the identity, and the way it comes about is extremely well written. It's extremely well put together. The artwork is great. The storyline is great. The reasons for her doing it are great. And her video message that she leaves for the people she loves, especially her brother, if her brother ever comes out of what he's in right now, is inspiring and heartbreaking and wonderful. I love it. And, you knew when Harper Row first appeared in the New 52 that there was going to be something amazing for her down the road. There was a lot of speculation at first that she would be eventually Robin, and frankly, she would make a great Robin. But I think it's cooler that they've got her taking on her own identity. And I'm looking forward to this even more. Batman Eternal really got me back into Batman, made me pay attention to Zero Year, which I'm really glad it did. But if you're looking at the best of DC right now, yeah, it's in the Bat books, definitely. Whether it's Batman, whether it's Batman Eternal, whether it's Detective, Gotham Academy. I've just heard something there. I don't know if you heard the raspy voice of Will back in the background, but Gotham Academy is amazing. A very different type of book, but boy, is it really good. So those would be the best recommendations I got for you. Just a little bit of talk over in Superman, Wonder Woman. They're fraying that relationship a little bit more. I don't know how long they're going to string this one out. And this is sort of funny because at first I didn't want to see Superman and Wonder Woman. I wanted to see Lois and Clark, like a lot of old fans. But Charles Soule's writing really sold me on this couple. Even after he's left, it's been good. But they're really playing up the difference in philosophies now between the very hopeful Superman whose code does not kill and Wonder Woman, who now is the god of war. And that's what's really going to drive them apart if anything does. But it's being handled pretty well. They've reintroduced Magog, was first introduced by Mark Waid in the Kingdom Come series. And they've got a new 52 origin for him, sort of working Circe into the mix on this. And it works. It works. It's a little hokey, but it works. We'll see where this leads in coming issues. Honestly, I like the Charles Soule run better, but I'm okay with this run on Superman Wonder Woman, so we'll see how it goes. And, of course, in Justice League United, we still have, where I'm fanboying out, the Legion of Superheroes. I've been a Legion fan since I was real little, reading the Jim Shooter written stories back in the days when comics were 12 and 15 cents. And to see anything with the Legion, I'm really happy. It's sort of odd, though, because they brought them in, and this is what DC is doing a lot lately. They're saying, we're going to give you something, but we're going to take something right back from you. Like they give you Donna Troy, but she's going to be a villain. They give you, in this case, they give you the Legion, but the 31st century is, and it's gone. It's a shame, but we'll see. We're all heading toward convergence, so we'll see what happens there. But the Justice League United Legion of Superheroes combination, which really it's almost turned into a Legion book for these issues here. It's really been good, and if you love the Legion at all, like I do, you got to be grabbing this thing. It's actually really cool. That's the big stuff I'm going to talk about for this week. Hopefully we're going to see some more stuff. Of course, I'm looking forward to the weeklies that come out from Batman Eternal, Future's End, and I'll pick up World's End and see what comes out of it. But let me put you on hold for just a second, and I'll come right back with the books for next week. Okay, we're back with the books coming out this coming week. Besides the weeklies that are coming out, Batman and Robin continues with Damian now having superpowers. We'll see how this plays out. I'm really hoping they'll come up with some conclusion to this at some point, because a member of the Bat family with superpowers just doesn't work, but we'll see what happens. Damian is back, and I'm glad to see him back. In the Justice League book that comes out this week, Batman gets infected with the Amazo virus. He's been trying to wear a containment suit all this time. That got compromised at the end of last issue. We'll see what happens to him, because the effects of that are not really good. Wonder Woman picks back up with Donna Troy in existence now, but as a potential villain, and she's being brought in there to put more pressure on Diana to either stay just with the Amazons or to give that up. And what does she do? Does she go off with the Justice League? Does she just act as the God of War? Does she stay and rule Paradise Island? And if she does not, where does Donna Troy fit in? So we'll see how that plays in. Other books that are coming out. Batman, Superman, I may have already mentioned. Batwoman comes out. There is a Birds of Prey trade paperback coming out here. And Supergirl at Hogwarts, the Crucible. We'll see how that turns out. Teen Titans is coming out, and of course Trinity of Sin. So that's what we're looking forward to this week. We'll be back hopefully with Will next week, doing a lot better for another DC Corner. Our regular Comics Week in Review has been delayed by 1 day, so watch for it on Monday, guys. It'll be coming at you. And thanks for joining us on the DC Corner.